Hello everyone, it's Diana. Welcome, or if you've been here before, welcome back to another video. I really appreciate each and every one of you for coming back and for still being here. So as part of my appreciation, I want to make this video an appreciation video and show you guys all the plants that, not that I don't appreciate as much, but I just don't care much for. I know that sounds bad. I'm still caring for them. I just, for some reason or another, I don't pay mind to these plants. Anyways, if you like this kind of video, I hope you stick around and let's get into it. So I'm going to be showing you guys 7 plants. These are in no specific order. So I'm just going to start with one that's back here. And it is my Begonia, my Rex Begonia. I don't even know what's the proper name for this one. So if anyone knows, please help a sister out. So I actually bought this plant a couple of months ago, and you know how when you bring a new plant to your home, they have to adapt to your environments, your cares, and usually they start dropping leaves. Well, I never had any issues with this one. I don't even think that I don't remember. She has never dropped leaves. I did buy her as a bushy plant and she's still very full and lush. Once again, it's a plant that the only thing that I do is the bare minimal, which is water her. I will say that she is one of the plants in this list that I water the most. Well, that's not true, because the one that I'm going to be showing you guys next is one that's like competing with this one, but she is, as begonias, she is kind of on the thirstier side, so I do water her every 4 days or so. She does receive ambient light, so during the morning she sits on my visitor shelf, so during the morning she receives light from my Barina T5 for 4 hours, and then for the rest of the day she does receive medium ambient light. In the afternoon, since the sun sits on, I want to say that this is a west facing window, but I could be wrong. For some reason it's hard for me to remember where does the sun sets, but I believe this is a west facing window, so she does receive sun from my west facing window, but it's minimal. I mean, now that the sun is starting to sit lower on the sky, the sun might come a little bit further into the room, but just ambient light. She doesn't fuss about anything. Humidity wise, it was very humid throughout the whole summer. Now, well, it says that it's 61% in here, which I don't know about that, but lately the humidity has been dropping a lot, drastically. And I want to say that it's been in the 30s, 40s. I know, crazy. Yeah, so far, I don't know, this is gonna be my first winter with her. So far she hasn't given me any grief, any issues, so hopefully she stays like this, full and lush, because I really do appreciate her foliage. As you guys can see, as most begonias, the red backs, but this one, the back of her leaves are not completely red, but the venation is deep burgundy or deep red, and then the front of the foliage is shimmery, silvery, very cute, very cutesy, very cutesy. So yeah, if any one of you knows the scientific name for this plant, please help a sister out. Oh my god, tell me why I'm out of breath. Okay, so the next plant that I'm going to be talking about is my Marantha Leuconera, and as my Rex Begonia, I don't have the scientific name for this one. So if you guys know the scientific name, help a sister out. Once again, I do know what's the difference between, well, obviously you could tell them apart, but I know which one is the silver band, which I don't have. The only Marantha that I have is this one, and it took me a really long time to get into Maranthas, just because I kept on hearing a lot of people saying that they're very hard to care for, that they're very temperamental plants, and so I was afraid of them for the longest until I saw this one at Walmart. She was for if I'm not mistaken, for $5.98, and I was like, what the heck? Well, what am I gonna lose? $5.98. So I ended up taking one, and this is Yaku. that if you are trying to stay away from a specific plant just because you think that they're not going to thrive in your care, try it out. You never know. So I decided to try it out, and she has rewarded me with growth and growth and growth. I did turn her around because, as you guys can see, this was the back. She was not that this is the back, but this was facing towards the wall. So I did turn her around just because I would like to have like a full lush plant. But this one is sitting on top of my cabinet in my kitchen. She is in a low ambient lighting situation. She receives morning light when the sun is coming through. She gets hit, well, I don't want to say that she gets hit by direct sun, but something like that. Once again, since the sun is a little bit lower on the sky, she is receiving a little bit more light, but not that she's getting scorched by the sun. She's like a couple feet away from the window. So, and once again, it's morning light, so it's not that much that she receives. She is, just like my Red Begonia, one of the thirstier plants that I have on this list. I will say that I water her every couple of days, 4 to 5 days. As you guys can see, I did give her water earlier today. And yeah, I got this plant, didn't fuss about anything. I set her up in my kitchen cabinet, and she has lived there pretty much the whole entire time that she's been here. When did I get this plant? I think I got this plant back in, I don't know, it was probably March, April, or May. One of those 3 months. But she's been doing great. She's been doing phenomenal. She's been rewarding me with a lot of new growth. Never had any issues. Some people say that they're temperamental. I will say that they're very easygoing. They do require a lot of water, but Marantha Leuconera, or whatever the scientific name is. Okay, so I actually have 2 of these, and I'm gonna give you guys a reason why I don't show much appreciation for this plant. So before I even started my whole YouTube channel, I had a green spider plant. Well, these are the babies from the mother plant. The mother plant grew so massive that I ended up taking a couple babies. I gave a couple babies to certain people that wanted, I don't know, like cutting a baby from that plant. I gave 3 babies away, and I stood with 2 of them. And these are the babies from the mother plant. As you guys can see, let me just put this down. The baby has babies. How cute. And yeah, that's the reason why I don't pay attention to this plant, because I had the mother plant for 3 years before I ended up getting rid of it. Well, not that I gave it to my aunt. So she's still alive, hopefully. But yeah, I ended up giving the mother plant to my aunt, and I stood with these 2 babies. So I'm actually planning on doing a repot with me. I don't know, some kind of repot, and putting these 2 plants together. This is a plant that does thrive in low lighting situations, so I don't know if I want to put this in my kitchen, but I don't know if I want her on top of my shelves or hanging. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas as to how I can style this plant, please let me know. I've always had her in a pot, never hanging, so I think she will look nice hanging, but I don't know. Any recommendations, let me know. This one sits on my wall, and she does receive lights from my Sansi grow lights. And then this one is just on a shelf next to the window, so she receives ambient light. And this one, it's actually on a lower lighting situation, and for some reason it's a lot bigger than this one. Maybe it's due to the grow lights. Not sure, because that grow light is only on for 4 hours, so I don't know. But my plan is to pot them up together. Well, I was actually thinking of potting up all my 3 spider plants, including my Bonnie. But I don't know. What do you guys suggest? And when it comes to the watering, I typically water these plants when I see that the foliage is starting to look grayish. I don't know how to explain that, but you could tell when this plant needs a water. So yeah, easygoing. If you're a beginner, definitely recommend a spider plant. The only issue with the spider plants when you're a beginner, just note that you're gonna have a lot of babies. And just to show you guys, I know that I just water this plant. I don't really have an issue with water sitting on the bottom of the pot. But look at those chunky roots. Okay, so next is my Scindapsus Exotica, Pictus Exotica. This one is, out of all the plants that I have in my collection, I think that this one is the one that I could be wrong. But I think this one is one of the ones that receives the less light. She is sitting in a dark space, which is right behind me on that corner. I usually water this one in place because I don't like moving it. I'm trying to get her to climb up the wall. So once again, she doesn't receive a lot of light, maybe ambient light from my Barina T5s and from the window right next to her. But other than that, she doesn't receive direct sunlight. I will say that when I bought this plant, what the heck is that on her leaves? See, now that I took her down, I'm starting to notice a lot of things that I did not notice before, but it looks like a fungal issue. What the? And it's in most of her leaves. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check this plant. But yeah, I usually water her in place just because I don't like to take her down. She is a slow grower. Out of all the plants that I have in my collection, I consider this one to be the slowest grower. But she did manage to give me this long vine. And now I'm starting to notice, I don't know, could this be like a fungal issue? I'm starting to notice that on a couple of her leaves. Once again, I barely bring this plant down from her spot. So, and she is in a bigger pot, so I barely water her as well. I will typically water her when she's completely dry, and since her root system is not the most robust, I do water her every other week, I want to say. So yeah, she was supposed to be in this video because, you know, I barely think about this plant, but now she gave me something to think about. What is going on with that foliage? What's going on with you? What's going on with you? I'm just gonna put her back. I don't want to deal with that. Not yet, but she looks beautiful in that corner. Okay, so I actually want to give a shout out to my red Siam Aglaonema, and the reason is because when I bought this plant, she was, I don't want to say she was huge, but she was kind of big, and she just started going downhill. I actually thought that it was because I didn't know how to care for plants, but by the time I got this plant, I had already, like, my collection was growing. Not a ton, but I want to say that I had about 20 plants, 25 plants, and yeah, she just started going downhill. I wasn't really sure why, especially with Aglaonema. Aglaonemas are so freaking easygoing. If you're looking to start up your collection, but you don't know which genus to start with, definitely Aglaonema. Aglaonemas are just so easygoing. They're pest resistant and one of the best genuses when it comes to foliage, in my opinion. But yeah, so regardless of it, so I bought this plant and she started decreasing. I went to my mother-in-law's house and she was like, yeah, I've had this plant for so many years now, and for some reason, I don't know what's going on with her. So I noticed that a lot of people on my Facebook group started complaining that these plants were coming with a plastic plug. And so when I was about to lose this plant, I decided to unpot her and remove the plug. She did not do well. As you guys can see, I ended up, so this was the top piece for this piece, and I ended up cutting it. I don't know, I was like, one of them has to make it. So eventually both of them did make it. I could see that there's a growth point. This is crazy, yo. Okay, you guys, don't judge me, but I have a nursery pot inside of another nursery pot. It's fine, it's fine. Let's just ignore that. But as you guys can see, I do have another growth point coming right here on the side, and then there is one over on this side. But she managed to survive. So I had this one in a self-watering pot, but I noticed that she wasn't doing the absolute most. So I thought she wasn't liking the self-watering pot, and I decided to transfer her into soil. And ever since I transfer her into soil, she has given me 2 new leaves, which is this one and this one. And she's working on 2 new leaves. So I think she likes the soil more than self-watering in pond. Let me clarify that. She was in pond. So I am watering her. Well, since I just transferred her from pond, I am watering her more than I should, to be completely honest. But I am going to be slowing down on the watering, and I'll probably water this one, I don't know, every 4 to 5 days. As you guys can see, there is no roots showing through the pot. So yeah, her root system wasn't that robust either. So wish her well after her repot. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be okay. But yeah, that was a plant that I barely, I don't know, like I don't even think about her. She stressed me out so much when I was trying to root her. Maybe that's the reason why I don't even think about her now. But shout out to her. Shout out to her. AC plant genus, definitely Epipremnum. Aglaonema Epipremnum, they're so easy. What are you guys doing? You could train them to either climb or trail down, just like I have my Epipremnum Pros and Jade. I got this plant, I want to say, a little bit more than a year ago. And she was very short. I want to say that she only had a vine starting to trail down. I want to say that her vine was about the size of this one. And then the rest she put out while being in my care. Very easygoing. I do have her once again on my wall. So she does receive light from my Sansi T8 grow lights. I also have a code with Sansi, so in case you guys would like to use it, I'm gonna have it linked down in the description below. You get a 32% discount on site. So that is something that I don't talk about a lot on my channel, but you guys have the option if you guys are looking to buy either Sansi lights, or if you guys would like to invest in lightings. I highly recommend the Sansi Grow lights. But she does receive 4 hours of grow lights, and maybe that's the reason why she's so long, full, and lush. But as you guys can see, like these vines right here on the bottom are looking, I guess, for that light source. I don't know. She is looking cute though. She's looking very cute. And as you guys can see, this is the back of the pot. I don't have to think about this plant at all. I usually water her when all her substrate is completely dry. Like sometimes I forget to water this one. That's how easygoing she is. I'm also starting to find fungus gnats in my collection. So yeah, that's a bummer. But anyways, very easygoing. She's cute, she's full, she's lush, doesn't require much from me. And yeah, just wanted to mention her, give her a little bit of love and appreciation. Just know that I do love you. Okay, so this other one is another hanging plant, and in this case I'm going to be talking about the Philodendron Micans. So she does have the dark foliage, and then the back of her leaves, I don't want to say that they're red or burgundy. They're more of a chocolatey color. I don't know how to describe it, but Philodendron Micans is one of my fastest growing plants in my collection. I will say that she is one of the fastest growing plants. And I don't know if you guys remember that I ended up shopping this plant back, I don't know, I want to say like 4 months ago. Well, look at her. She is super long again. So I might give her another shop, which is fine. I like shopping plants back just because it encouraged them to grow a little fuller and grow in places where, I don't know, maybe they're starting to look a little bare. But as you guys can see, I don't want to step on the dogs because they're laying down right on my feet. But as you guys can see, she did push out a new pup right there. And this is another one that I barely do anything to it. Once again, she sits on top of my, she sits on my wall. And she receives 4 hours of the T8 Sansi Grow lights. Other than that, I water her once her soil is completely dry. Well, lately I've been trying to be on top of the watering because I do notice that this one tend to drop a couple of leaves, and she tends to put out this small foliage when she's not receiving the water that she needs. Okay, so I was actually going to end the video here because I did mention all the 7 plants that I had on my list. But now that I look towards my windowsill, I do want to mention 2 more plants. Okay, so I want to do an honorable mention to my carnivorous plants, and I'm specifically talking about my Venus Flytrap and my Pinguicula Ehlersiae. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I'm specifically talking about these 2 plants. And why I decided to show them on this list, because if you don't have a carnivorous plant in your collection, highly recommend. I don't have mine in soil. The only plant that I do have in soil is my pitcher plant. But other than that, these 2 I have in sphagnum moss, and I don't know, they're so easygoing. The only thing that I have to do is just water them, make sure that they have water basically every single day at all times of the day. She is drying out so fast, but she's looking so cute. When I got this plant, she was just a itty tiny baby, and look at her now. She has grown so much. And with this one, I want to show you guys that the roots on this one are dark. They're black. I just had to give a shout out and an honorable mention to my carnivorous plants. Anyways, if you guys liked and enjoyed this video, as always, do all the nice things down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And ring the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you every time I upload a new video. New videos are every Sunday at 3 p.m. EST time. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.